Hi, this is Edward Troxel, and today we're going to expand on the previous script by splitting the code into smaller segments that can be reused at later times. Subroutines are good for creating routines that can be used over and over again. While these specific routines may not be routines that you want to save to use over and over again, it will show you how they can be created and how the same routine can be used multiple times. So today we're going to start with the same code we ended up with in our last video, and as you can see, this is the complete code. We're going to leave the entry point section alone, but we're going to take this part up here and split it into smaller pieces. So first of all, we have this open file dialog. So let's break that down into a new routine. So down here we're going to create another routine, and let's call that public, because we want everybody to be able to see it. It's going to return a string. We're going to call that get file name, and then we're going to pass that a string, and we're going to pass it the title that we want it to display. All we really need to do is copy the information from up here to begin with. So let's copy these 3 lines as a beginning. And we're going to have an open file dialog, just like we did before. We're going to change this, instead of being a specific string, to be what we pass it in the title. And then, if it is okay, then we are simply going to return the file name. So that would be return svd.filename. If they did not press OK, then we're going to display this message up here. So let's just copy these 3 lines up here. We'll just cut them and paste them down here. We wanted to open the file dialog. We wanted to use this title. Then we wanted to display the dialog, and then if they pressed OK, we want to return the file name. Otherwise, we want to display that no file was selected. And then after we display that, we need to return null. That way, if they clicked on cancel, we will know in the original routine that if it is null, they clicked on cancel. So let's get rid of this else up here. And now, up at the top, instead of doing all of this, we are going to say our string, and we're going to call it file name, equals get file name, and then we're going to pass it the string that's in the next line. So let's just pull this up by pressing the delete key, and then we'll put a parentheses at the end. Now this line also has to change because we no longer have that variable up here, and it's either going to return a null or it's going to return a valid file name. So here we'll say if file name is not equal to null, then we're going to do the rest of the stuff in this routine. The next thing we see here is we are looking for a video track, and we are going through all the video tracks, and if we could not find one, we create a new one. So let's take all of this code, and we are going to create a new routine out of that. So I'm just going to copy this for right now. We want to return a video track. So we will leave this video track, vid track, and then we're going to call a routine called find first video track. So we can get rid of all of this, and let's go down to the bottom, and we will now create a public video track, find first video track, and we're not going to pass it anything in this case because we just want it to find the first video track. So let's just paste all the code from up above. So we have video track, vid track set to null. Then we go through all the tracks looking for the video track. If it finds a video track, then it will set it to that. If it is still null down here, then it will create another video track, and then at the end, what we want to do is return vid track. And I see we have a mistake here, probably from last time, so we're going to change that to myTrack.isVideo, not is valid. So if my track is video, if it is a video track. Okay, so now we have a circuit routine created. And you notice this up here is now much shorter. Now let's create a third routine, which is basically going to do all of this stuff. It's going to take that file name, add it to the video track, and we're all going to do it in one line of code. So let's copy out, cut all this, and in its place we're going to say add file to timeline. This one we're going to have to pass some information, so we're going to pass it the file name, we're going to pass it the video track, and we're going to pass it the cursor location. So now let's come down here and create our subroutine. So it's going to be public. We are not going to return anything in this case, so we'll just say void. That means we're not returning anything. And then we'll say add file to timeline. The first thing we're passing is a string, which is the file name. Second thing we're passing is a video track, which is vid track. And the third thing we're passing is a time code, which is the position. Now let's just paste in everything that we had copied from above, and we'll go through and start making any corrections that are necessary. So in this case, we were getting the file name from the svd variable. Now we're just using the file name, so we can get rid of this svd dot and just use the file name passed in this string. And we come on down. This is still okay, this is still okay. We don't have a cursor location now, but I do have position. Oops, looks like I misspelled time code up here. And then the rest of this should be the same. And we're not returning anything in this case because it's of type void. So now let's save this. Pop over to Vegas. Let's get the cursor over. Go to Tools, Scripting, Run Script. And we'll run this class 1 again. And now it is asking us to please select an image or video file. Let's just go back to our C:, the media, wedding. Just pull up the video, the GIF table again. And you can see it was added at the cursor location. If we go back and look at our original script, now our main routine has become very small. Basically, get the file name. If the file name is okay, then do these 3 things. And then all of the work is being done in these other routines down here. This one gets the file name. This one finds a video track. And then this one adds the file to the timeline. As you can see, creating subroutines lets us create little routines that we can use over and over again so that we can simplify our main programs, and that our subroutines can do all the work. You can also develop a set of subroutines over time so that you can just start a new program using those subroutines and not have to create the steps every time that you write a new program. In fact, I will show you some of the subroutines that I have created over time in some future videos. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.